and then I'm going to turn it over to you, okay? Pam,
Yep.
you ready?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, let me know when you have it and you're rolling. Just double check your recorder, make sure it's rolling.
Okay. Welcome to the October 1st meeting of the Ledyard Farmers Market. This is Pam Ball. I am the market manager, and let's go through and take roll call.
Lori Harry, Assistant Market Manager.
Melody Ferris, Secretary.
Pete Harry, Committee Member.
April or Bill, you want to weigh in?
You're on mute, Bill.
It's my microphone. I'm April Brunel, the treasurer.
Copy.
And I see Bill Thorne. And Jamie is away. And I don't know where Ellen is. So sorry. I don't believe we have any citizens on the line. Oh, now we're getting a lot of background noise. Okay. Any citizen comments? I think Bill, you need to mute. Bill can, okay, there we go. Are there any informational items from anybody? Oh, there's Paula. Awesome. Are there any informational items from anybody? Okay. Now we will review and approve or not approve or amend the minutes from the September 3rd meeting. So has everybody had a chance to read the minutes? And does anybody have any changes? So I will make a motion to accept the minutes from the September 3rd meeting.
I'll second.
Lori
Harry.
Okay. All in favor of accepting the minutes? I see April's hand.
Aye.
I see Bill's hand. I see Pete's hand. Lori said yes. I think Melody's the last one. Melody has her hand up, so the minutes pass unanimously. Okay. Ooh, this will be a quick meeting. So next up is the treasurer's report.
Okay, well, not much has changed since the last report, but Roxanne did send them out. Our donations and then all our stuff coming in is about $16,799. What we've spent out looks like it's around $5,000. The only thing I do want to bring up as the treasurer side of things is I'm still getting my list together of all the donations that we collected in our buckets. Thank you, Pam, for giving me the point of contact for the Boy Scouts, but I still need all the others like the Valentino, the skateboard, Jenna from the Ledyard High School, Jenna Foltz, the Buryak/Candler Fund, Tri-Town Trails, and then the Lions, just so I can have a contact. Even if you only know a contact person's name, then I can try to find them. But
April.
Yep.
I have an email out to the high school, and she is gonna get me what and who and how, and I'll get that to you. And I know that the Valentino's one just goes straight to the food pantry.
Okay, sounds good. I'll write that down.
That's actually for the food pantry. So.
And I have the Lions, and I gave you the information for the refund for Organic Vine. And I believe I have a pamphlet from the Tri-Town Trail, so the information should be on the Tri-Town Trail for that. Not sure who else we might be missing on the list.
Well, if the Legend School knows Buriak Candler and the Jenna one, then it's just the Skateboard Connor one. But I can find that one, I'm sure, online.
Ah, okay.
Holly about that.
I think I might have that one too. Let me go through my emails and I'll check.
Okay, thanks. That's it for me.
Okay.
For what it's worth, I think the pantry has two accounts, one with the church and one with the town. So, yeah, I don't think it matters which one you give it to, but
Linda, do you have comments? We can check with Linda and see which one she prefers. I know that you can mail it to the church at 722 Colonel Ledyard Highway. And I guess the check would be made out to the town of Ledyard with food pantry in the memo. I'm guessing, but we can triple check with Linda on that. Ellen has joined the meeting. Hi.
Hello.
Okay, so we're moving on to comments of the committee members. Does anybody have any comments about them?
Good.
Okay. Old business. Oh, market manager report. I will do when we do the old business and the new business. I think that's the best way to do it. For old business, has everybody had a chance to read the credit card in-person purchasing suggestions?
Yes.
Are we finally ready to vote on that? Does anybody have any? I will make a motion to accept the proposal. I don't know if anybody has any comments on it.
yeah, I think it's fine.
I'll second.
Now, do we have discussion? I'm so bad at this stuff. So I don't hear any comments from anybody. So
Who seconded it?
April.
Lori seconded it.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so let's take a vote on the purchasing protocol or purchasing procedure. I say aye.
Aye.
April says aye. Bill Thorne says aye. Melody says
Aye.
Pete
Aye.
says aye. Who else is left? I think that's it. Passes unanimously. Terrific. Terrific, terrific. Okay. Any other old business appropriate to come before the committee? I would just want to say thank you again to everybody. We worked hard this summer and we did a great thing for the community, and I just can't get over the fact that we did it. 16 weeks. We only got rained out once, and I think we did a great job. So I just wanted to say that.
I would like to second that. You guys did a great job. And I say you guys because I didn't know what I was doing. Everybody there did a great job, and it really was successful. Considering the hurdles we had, the new location and the pandemic and all that, it really went well.
Well, thanks. Ben. I think we did. So, okay. On any other old business? Okay. On to new business. So, Jamie's away, and Melody was kind enough to send out the surveys to our 800 people on our customer list, and I pulled together about 80 email addresses for vendors who were at the market and vendors who I thought would be interested in the winter market. And I didn't go through the customer survey yet. We had a lot of fill in the blank type things. And we had a pretty good response. We had about 80 responses, so about 10%. And I didn't feel like going through all of those comments. But I thought it was more important to go through the vendor survey. So we got about 23 responses out of 80 for the vendor survey. 5 of those were people who were not involved with the summer market at all. So, but they're interested in winter market. So basically we have about 18 vendors, which about, I would say 5 of those were the food trucks. And then the rest of them were people who were at the market. And I'll go through the highlights of the things from the results. So for safety, everybody said, pretty much everybody said that we were very good for COVID. Our safety rules and guidelines were just right, that they were better than other markets for the most part, and that they felt safe being at our market. 2 people complained that we had too stringent of a set of guidelines, but considering we were no more stringent than what the Department of Ag asked us to do, I'm not quite sure if there's anything else we could have done. And we got a lot of kudos for the hand washing sink bill. So that was a big hit with everybody. So that's safety. For the location, 4 people were neutral. 0, nobody said they didn't like it. Most people said they did like the new location, mainly because they didn't have to put up a tent. So at least nobody hated it. I know people didn't like having the smaller spots, but the reason we had smaller spots was we had to social distance. So even if we're under the pavilion next year, if we don't have to be 6 feet apart, people can go back to having larger spots. For sales, let's see. I got 15 responses on the sales question. 6, so people who were here first year, of course, couldn't answer this question. 6 out of 15 did about the same. 5 out of 15 did less. 2 did a little bit better. 1 did a lot better, and 1 did a lot less. So considering everything that was going on, if people had this same sales or a bit more, so 8 out of 15 had the same sales or a bit more, when we had half the vendors and half the crowd, I'd say we had a pretty good market. Advertising, great job overall. Photos, we asked questions about why didn't people send photos of their products every week, and a lot of them said that they were just so busy they didn't have the time to do it. The communication, we got great marks for communication. And then we asked a bunch of questions about, would you be interested in a winter market? If it was indoors, if it was outdoors, would you be full-time? Would you be part-time? So we have a nice bunch of people who would be interested in being at the market full-time. That would be Broadbrook Cupcakes, Killam and Bassett. Breads and Cookies talked to me about it. Yala talked to me about it. But there's a lot of people we haven't heard from. So we do have a reasonable number. It could possibly be smaller than last year's winter market, but it's a start. So when Jamie comes back, I'm going to ask her to resend the vendor survey so we can get a little bit more input and information. The one thing, so a mistake on my part was forgetting to include Brush Hill Dairy on the email list. And when I sent an email to Jamie to ask her to include Brush Hill, I accidentally included Brush Hill on my email to Jamie. And they're not sure they can make it. So I think as the pieces for winter market fall into place, we'll have to decide if the market is worth having without Brush Hill, because they're our only supplier of lettuce and fresh greens. But we don't have to decide that right now. But overall, I think everybody was happy with the way the market went, and there are definitely people looking forward, definitely vendors looking forward to the winter market. Not a lot of interest in having an outside market. And I did look at this question on the customer survey, And just like last year when we did the summer survey, about 2/3 said they would go to a market and about 1/3 said they wouldn't. So I would expect, you know, it would be like summer, attendance would be down and the number of vendors would be down, but it could still be a very good market. It would be one of 3 or 4 that I know of for the winter. Coventry, North Stonington, Smith's is probably having theirs, and I think we would be the 4th one that I know of to have a winter market. So that's pretty much the results from the survey. Does anybody have any comments or questions on the responses that we got from the survey?
This is Bill Thorne. Hey, just a comment. It really isn't from the inputs, but I saw some pictures because the pantry had a discussion about moving to the community center in Gales Ferry.
Yeah.
As an option for the pantry, and I've never been there, but I saw some of the pictures. I don't know if that's an option for the winter market for us. I mean, it may be more cost effective, and especially since we're probably not going to be serving food out of the kitchen at St. David's. It might be an option. Just the town offered it up to the pantry, so maybe they'll offer it up to the farmers market.
Bill, we used to have the market, the winter market. We had it one year at the senior center, and if we end up having the winter market, it was too small for us to begin with. So I'm guessing it would be too small to hold a social distance winter market in it this year.
No, it's not the senior center or the community center in Gales Ferry next to the library.
Oh.
I've not been in there.
Oh, okay.
Is it big?
Yeah, it's big. I didn't know how big it was, but it's big. So, I mean, I'm just saying it might be an option to look at. That's all.
Well, you beat me to the punch, but yes.
That's a good idea.
Is that would I go through the library to look at that? Does anybody know?
Yeah, I don't know how you, honest to God, I've only seen pictures, but they were impressive pictures.
I'm sorry, what was your question? The community center is standalone. The library only has one room that we use for the children's library, but the community center is Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec? Okay.
And Linda just told me that the community center is 900 square feet.
Okay. All right. Very good.
How big is the hall that we function out of in St. David's? It's probably not a whole lot more than that, is it?
Oh,
I
God.
have to look at my measurements.
No, the problem you're going to have is when, the few times I was at the market at St. David's, everybody was pretty packed in. Which
Yeah.
we won't be able to do. So yeah, I mean, it may be no better or worse than St. David's. I don't know, but I heard somebody talk about the gym at St. David's. So maybe that's bigger and more appropriate. So I don't know.
Okay.
Linda thinks the Linda's mic is not working, so she's messaging me, but
Okay.
she thinks that the community center is going to be too small.
Okay. All right.
Also, real quick,
Yes.
Linda also mentioned that the check needs to be made payable to Ledyard Food Pantry and it gets sent to the church.
Thank you. Got
for
that.
donation.
Awesome. All right. So then let's continue discussing the winter market. I'll tell you what I've done, and then we can continue discussing. I have a message into the mayor to make sure that we actually have his blessing. Since the town carries the insurance. Oh, hi, Jamie. Jamie's there. Look like you're in an airport. So I have a message into the town to make sure that they're fine with us actually having the market. So there's a lot of moving pieces going on with the winter market, and they're either all going to come together wonderfully or it's all going to fall apart. That's the only way I can envision this happening. So if we get Fred's blessing, we are still waiting on guidance from the Department of Ag. So we still don't know what the guidelines are going to be. The vendors, there's good interest from the vendors. And as I mentioned, the customers are about 2/3 yes and 1/3 no. I have contacted the old Ledyard Center School. Jamie, you want to say something? Can't hear you.
Can't hear you, Jamie.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting with the mayor, and the mayor said he is completely fine with us having a winter market.
Well, gee, isn't that convenient? Hey, they carry the insurance, so I'm just making sure.
Yep, he said he's good.
We voted to have it in your living room, Jim.
They're perfect.
Yeah, we're having it at your house. Okay, so we have the go ahead from the town. That's one piece.
This is Bill Thorne. I think in the agenda, there was talking about a farm that was off. Might it be a possibility to hold the winter market? I'm not sure what that was about.
That was Melody.
Stables.
I don't know if Melody, were you able to look into that?
I could not find out who it was to save my life.
Okay.
I tried. I don't remember who it was, and I've searched for hours and I could not figure out who it was. Somebody that was at the market knew the person, and they said to me, "Oh, that's down by the water in Gales Ferry." So that's why I was looking down by the water in Gales Ferry, but I could not find anything.
Okay.
I don't know if we can put a message out on Facebook and say, does anybody have any ideas of where we could hold the winter market, and see if we get any bites on that? I don't know.
Pete, do you have your hand up?
No, I was waving. Laura Kelly just drove by. I was waving to her. Sorry.
Okay. I couldn't tell. That's a good idea, Melody. So the places I contacted were Ledyard Center School. I figured, I don't know, maybe there's a big room in there I don't know about, but they told me no. Gales Ferry Landing is full. St. David's, they still never got back to me. LCC, I'm going to talk to on Sunday, but I'm not hopeful because I think they have a 15-person limit in Fellowship Hall. Dance Country, they have too many classes on Saturday. Now I'm going to meet with Father at Our Lady of Lourdes on Monday. So they didn't say no. So there's a possibility that we could actually get the space at Our Lady of Lourdes. It's a very big cavernous room that we actually thought was too big last year for the market. So it could be just what we need this year. So I will be doing that. And then now I can see about looking at the community center too. So we won't be using a kitchen anywhere. There's no food. So that's definitely an option. So we have permission from the town. If we get a place to have it, then that's the second piece to fall in place. If the guidelines from DOAG and and they tell us that we can go ahead and have it, that's the third piece to fall in place. Then we can gauge vendor interest and see who on the team is actually able to come and do the work. So I know that's a lot of stuff to decide with a lot of ifs. So I'm thinking that once we have the rest of the information, maybe we could have a short special meeting and, take a vote on whether or not we want to do this. So if we don't have a place, it doesn't matter. So we have to find out if we have a place anyway.
This is Bill Thorne.
Yeah.
How long I mean, at some point, it probably becomes OBE if you can't find a place or can't get it together soon enough. What's sort of the cutoff? I mean, because I know like some of the produce is fall produce that just doesn't exist after like the holidays. So I'm just kind of wondering, is this something that we have to like get organized and get decided in the next 2 or 3 weeks, or do we have more time than that?
So I have the Red Sleigh Bazaar at church on November 7th. So the earliest I would think of starting this would be November 14th. So we have 5 or 6 weeks. And honestly, if we're going to pull this together, I'm just going to tell people to bring their applications and their payments. I'm not going to have them mail them. So we don't have to worry about, you know, things coming in the mail, things being delayed, all that stuff. So that's why I'm thinking if we find a place, then we can have a short special meeting in October, you know, put the schedule together, see if we have enough manpower, and maybe we'll vote that we don't have it, which is fine too. But might as well have all of our information before we make a decision. And then I'll just send out the applications and that'll be that. So I am going to impose one thing at this market, and I hope everybody will be behind me on this. There were vendors at the summer market that I had to tell every week to wear their gloves or do something with their mask. 3 times they're out of the market. It's an indoor market. I am not going to put up with people who are doing safety violations that could get any of us sick inside or any of our customers sick inside. So I hope everybody's with me on that. You probably know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to name any names, but if I have to kick these people out, I'm going to kick these people out because
I'm with you on that one.
I'm sorry.
And I'm with you on that one.
Good. I'm glad because it was really not fair to us to have to deal with people who didn't want to be bothered to keep everybody safe. And that's really our job. You know, the way I approached the market was every vendor there could have COVID, every customer there could have COVID, and I have to keep everybody safe. And that's going to be harder to do inside. So that's my thinking on that.
One question about the winter market. I know that weather is an issue, but since we're not doing the kitchen like we did at St. David's, is there an option to have food trucks there maybe early in the season when the weather is still reasonable?
Yes. Yes, definitely do it. It's just kind of weird that it's 9 o'clock in the morning, would be 9 to 12. And, but you know, they could do a nice lunch business from 11 to 12 or 10:30 to 12 and people could take their stuff home. That's the way I'm looking at it. But so what I'm thinking is, I'll send around an email with, letting you know if we find a place or not. And then we can either do by email or we can have a short meeting to work out staff and vote on it. I don't know if we have to actually vote on it. If there's not enough staff who wants to do it on the inside, then, you know, that's fine too. But I think, does anybody else have any comments on winter market? Okay. One other interesting thing, we did have somebody interested in joining the market team. I don't know her. Her name is Meredith Rondash. I don't know if anybody knows her. She works in Mystic and she has kids in the Ledyard school system. So I invited her to apply. So we'll see what happens. So Linda, if you can hear us, you can probably expect that application to come in. I don't know. She didn't seem to be able to think she could help with winter very much, but she could help with summer. Oh, and I do want to mention that, let's see, question, does she live in Ledyard? I'm assuming if her kids are in Ledyard schools, she lives in Ledyard. I'm sure we'll find that out from her application.
Oh, I thought you said her name. Sorry.
I did. It is Meredith Rondash.
Nope, don't know.
Yeah, I don't know her either. So there was a question on the survey asking the vendors if they would help clean and sanitize the facility. And we don't have a lot of support there, guys. I just have to say. There were a couple who could maybe, help clean up a little bit sometimes, but for the most part, it was a no. But I figured it was worth asking. So I think that's probably it. I know I did most of the talking, but there really wasn't a lot going on except thinking about winter, and I'm guessing maybe we'll just have to have a special meeting before November 5th if we're really going to have the market start on the 14th. Our other option is to have an outdoor market November and December, but it wasn't a lot of buy-in for that. So, and I know we talked about maybe closing in the sides of the ag barn with I'm starting to call it the market pavilion, by the way. So closing in the sides of the market pavilion with tarps, but there's no lights in there, so that would be really dark. So does anybody have any other comments? Jamie.
Can I go? I think when it comes to, oh, sorry, Jamie, go ahead.
I was just going to say the Holdridge Pavilion does have lights in it, though. You know, the one up on top?
Yeah.
So that's always an option, too. I'm a little surprised that we wouldn't be able to get much. I mean, I guess I'm not surprised. I guess I was hopeful we'd get more buy-in about cleaning from the vendors, being as they know it's not easy to have it. And we'd be going, I think above and beyond to have it, especially seeing as so many other markets aren't going to happen, but I guess whatever. But anyway, I guess we could consider the Bud Holdridge Pavilion, which is the one on the top, because that does have lights, if that was something that we wanted to do.
For outside. Yeah, my concern there was parking, because all the parking would be down the hill. But I guess people could walk.
So my comment was going to be about the vendors not helping clean and sanitize.
Mhm.
And it went right along with what Jamie said. We're putting in the effort to try and have this for them and help them. And I really think that it should be required that they do help clean a space. I mean, Linda said they don't have time to send pictures. Why would they clean?
Yeah.
But I really think that, I think it should be required that they at least help us do something, especially if the church is going to require us to sanitize like crazy.
Valid points. And that is something we should consider when we decide, if we have a spot, are we going to go through with this? Because it's still up to us if we want to do this. I mean, I know all these people want to make a living, but we are all volunteers, and if we have to decide if we want to open the shop as a team.
Tim.
Yep, Pete.
Would it be something that we would ever consider, like, hiring someone just to do a decent clean after each thing, if it's like $40-$50 a week? I mean,
ooh, that's a good idea.
I mean, I know my wife, she cleans. I mean, I'm not saying she would do it. She's actually probably not going to be involved in the winter market. She's having a pretty big surgery, but
Yep.
she has done some cleaning, and the price is very reasonable. I mean, even if it was, you know, $100 a week, they would get it better deep cleaned than I know I would. Lori, you'll agree to that. I don't know, just saying.
That's a
So-
great idea.
So if if the vendors don't want to clean,
Yep.
to pony on what Pete was saying, if the vendors don't want to clean, then maybe we should charge them an extra $5 or something for their spaces every week because of COVID, or $10,
Mm-hmm.
and say, okay, nobody wants to clean. So, you know, for the extra $5 from each
And-
vendor, we're going to hire somebody to clean.
Environmental fee. I love it.
Yes, an environmental COVID fee.
What a great idea. You guys have great ideas, let me tell you. I think that's a great idea. I mean, there were some that said they would, and we don't have a whole lot of responses, but I'm going to guess that even if we get another 15 responses, it's still going to be the same ratio of yes to no, and a lot of them were no. So, but I like the idea of hiring somebody to clean it. I mean, I told all the places that we were looking at that we could afford $100 a week because that's what we spent last year. And we could probably swing 150 because then that money would go to have somebody clean. That would be a burden off of us, that's for sure. But I like that idea.
And Lori, Kyle said they're definitely doing sports, right, this winter?
Yes, he did. He said they're going to do something no matter what it is with COVID, but they're going to try and do something.
That's the church by the high school.
That's a bummer. I think we should go break all their legs and then they won't have any sports and we could use the gym.
Hey, Pam, I'm Italian. I know people.
I know, so don't I. I'm Sicilian. No, it's great.
Enough, but they can't refuse.
Yeah, really. Yeah. So I think our best bet is Our Lady of Lourdes. I mean, April, you saw that space, and Laura, you saw that space. It's a cavern in there.
Yeah, it's ginormous.
So,
And if they let us open a few curtains, that would be awesome. That was one of the other things, was that it was so dark.
it was dark in there. But I don't know, were all the lights on? I don't remember.
Hey, this is Bill Thornton.
Yep.
You know, I don't know what's going on at Ledger Congregational, but especially if we offer up a cleaning, deep cleaning after the, you know, maybe they would be willing. And the town is doing the liability, so it's not a liability insurance issue. And it's right there. It's in the center. It's where people know. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get why the fellowship hall wouldn't be a good place to hold it.
I'm talking to them Sunday, but I neglected to mention that I believe the pantry will be on Saturday morning.
Well, I know that Linda was saying that over the winter, the food pantry is going to be moving into the church for the
Yep.
winter.
Yep. I forgot to mention that. I think the way I understand it now, a lot of the food will be stored in the Lester room, but the actual distribution will be in the fellowship hall so that we can use the door with the airlock on the library side. So
Pam, would it be worth revisiting Holdridge's, the greenhouse, or is that just a done deal? Can't go back to that.
Too small.
Really?
yeah. They're going to have their winter merchandise in there for the first 2 months. So it's small. But we did think of that.
Hmm.
So we'll see what happens on Monday at Our Lady of Lourdes. They didn't say no.
Well, when do you think the Department of Agriculture will will let us know about their thoughts on winter markets?
So in August, they said next week. And then when I talked to him, bugged him in September, they said mid-October.
Yeah, and in recent light of, I don't know if you caught the governor's update today.
No.
Yeah, well, I don't want to put panic in people, but it seems like a couple areas around here are getting hot spots over 5%, Norwich and Colchester in particular. So and his update was probably 25% was about southeastern Connecticut, which it hasn't been since he's been doing the updates.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's
But Norwich students cannot be in Ledyard High School now for the next 2 weeks.
yeah.
They're all virtual.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, wasn't a good update.
Norwich and Colchester are getting pretty bad.
Okay. Well, like I said, it's our call whether we want to open up shop or not. We're a very generous market. We have a lot of people with big hearts on the team, and we'll see what we can do when we know where we can have it and if we feel comfortable. And, you know, who knows, in 2 weeks, who knows?
Yep.
So. Comments? I think this is our shortest meeting ever, with me at any rate. Does anybody want to make a motion to adjourn?
This is Lori Harry. I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:13 p.m.
I'll
second.
3 seconds. Bill Thorne, Jamie, and April all second the motion. So the meeting is adjourned at, my thing says 6:14 p.m. and I will stop recording.
Bye, everybody. Stay well.
Bye, Ellen.